Hello! Welcome, welcome, one and all. I think welcome, welcome, one and all. Give me a second to see myself. There it is. There it is. Okay, I see myself. All right, we are successfully live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday stream. Usually we do Magic Online Commander gameplay on the Wednesday stream. However, this time we're going to be doing something special because a new set has just been released. Not just a new set, it's a Commander Legends set. So this is a set just for us Commander players. As you would guess, there's a lot of commanders in this set to make the draft experience work. And then on top of that, there's also brand new commanders from the new pre-constructed decks, the Commander pre-constructed decks. We got 4 of those. So I think in total, we got 4 standalone commanders from the pre-constructed set, then 4 background commanders and associated backgrounds of them. And then combining all of those together, as you can see, the list is quite large indeed. We have 98 cards that can be in your command zone between the Commander Legends set and the pre-constructed set cards. So there's a lot to go through. However, this is a little bit misleading because Commander Legends to Baldur's Gate, for those who don't know, is actually a draft set. It's meant to be drafted. So a lot of these cards are going to be, some commons, some uncommons rather, that are relatively simple, and they're not particularly noteworthy in terms of like constructed commander, but they're there mostly to fulfill a specific role, which is to make the drafting experience more smooth and consistent. So even though it's 98, it's not going to take us that long to go through all of them, which is a good thing because I'm still getting ready to travel to Command Fest Richmond tomorrow, and I still got some stuff to do. I still got to pack. And I'm just doing like all the pre-boarding stuff right now. There's a lot of things to I have to make sure that my vaccine gets verified and everything. So still got a lot of stuff to do. To get ready to go tomorrow. So we won't spend all day here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm super excited. I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped about everything. I'm just having a really excited, high energy day, and I'm looking to chill a little bit and talk about some commanders, and that's like my favorite thing to do. So let me quickly post that we are live. Let us post a tweet in broadcast. Done and done. Happy birthday, Antonio. Hope you're having a good one. What do you think is the best card in the whole set? Oof, I don't know. I need that to percolate a little bit. Like, we just got the precons, so I have a sneeze. I honestly haven't really assessed all the precons yet, so I can't. There we go. The delayed sneeze, the delayed blast sneeze ball. I don't know what's the most powerful ones. I know there's a couple ones that are very good. Like, for example, I really like the delayed blast fireball. The asymmetrical board wipe, I think is going to be really good and easy to run in a lot of red decks. I think the 2 new white cards, the two drop white cards are really strong. The one that lets you ramp whenever your opponents are ramping, essentially, and then the other one lets you draw a card whenever your opponents search their library. I think those 2 are very strong. Black Market Connection seems solid as well. Yeah, there's a lot of really good ones. I don't know what's going to be the best, though. I think it's going to be kind of relative. Some are going to be like, archetype all-stars, and those might be more powerful in their archetypes than the generic staples. But I think the 2 generic staples that stand out, in my opinion, are the 2 white ones. But we'll find out. The best card in the whole set is probably Nature's Lore, maybe just because, well, I mean, those are really nice reprints. Psych Rift is a board wipe? I agree. All right. Enough diddle-daddling, all right? So here's how we're going to be doing this, because there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot to go through. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go through, I think we're going to go through basically the commanders with backgrounds, because I think that's the most interesting, at least to me. So we're going to go through the background commanders, and then we're going to go through the backgrounds themselves, and then we're going to go through the other ones. So as you can see here, we have 68 commanders that are creatures, and then we have the backgrounds are 30 backgrounds, which can be your secondary commanders. Let me make it a nice little bit bigger so y'all can read it. So 175 is good. There we go. Okay, let's kick things off, everybody. All right, so we're gonna start with the commanders that can be chosen with a background. First one we got is Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward. This is like the canonical main character of the Baldur's Gate video game, number 1. Realistically, like, when you're playing the game, you make your own character. It can be any gender, anything, and any name or whatever. But canonically, for the sake of the storyline, they put this as the canonical character that was that hero. Abdel Adrian, 5 mana, human warrior, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until Abdel leaves the battlefield, and you create 1/1 white soldier creature tokens for each permanent exiled this way. So this card, 2 things that really stand out to me, or at least I guess 3 things. First of all is a blink archetype. You want to have creatures with powerful enter the battlefield and leave the battlefield triggers. Not even creatures, it's just permanents. So kind of like a Brago-esque style of play, where you're going to be blinking them with Abdel, and then you're going to be blinking Abdel himself to get those creatures back onto the battlefield, get those into the battlefield, and leave the battlefield triggers again. Pretty straightforward, but there's some spice here. The spice is that you're going to be making soldier creature tokens for each permanent exile this way. I don't imagine you're going to be making more than like 4-ish tokens each time you're doing this, but I think that's pretty good already. I think that's pretty strong. So you could potentially build like some sort of soldier sub-theme going on into it. Maybe. I'm not personally that excited about that part of like going for a soldier sub-theme, but it is spice. But the more practical use of these tokens, obviously, is you have a bunch of 1/1s entering the battlefield. So white loves the skull clamp, open the armory. Like, white is one of the best colors at actually finding equipment. So, skull clamp is going to be fantastic. One of your best draw engines in the deck whenever you make a lot of 1/1s very efficiently. Open the armory, and white just has really good ways of finding that equipment consistently every single game. You also have stuff like Welcoming Vampire and other creatures that draw you cards when you have low power creatures entering the battlefield. So those can take advantage of that as well. Mentor of the Meek as well. So I think this is just a solid commander. It's 5 mana, but keep in mind that it's 5 mana and you're going to be getting a background. You're going to get something out of this list. Traditionally, blink decks are blue, like Azorius colored. So I would probably be looking at, out of these, I'd probably be leaning towards the blue ones just in general. But you can obviously make a blink deck, a mono white blink deck. So you could definitely run like any white-based blink deck is absolutely fine. You can pick like Faraway Traveler, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target tap creature you control. So you could even blink itself that way too. So you can go mono white blink. You can go Candlekeep Sage. When it enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, you draw a card. I think this one's a pretty easy one to go with blink as well. But there's options. I think any color combination works here. White is a primary blink color. You could go mono white. You can add other colors, and you're gonna have a fun time a bunch of different ways. I think Candlekeep is probably like the most safe option though. Oh, Silky, thank you for the dono. Does Deep Gnome Terramancer trigger off your opponent's own Deep Gnome? Ooh, so that's why it's once per turn. I believe it does, right? Because Deep Gnome. Let me double check the wording on it. Deep Gnome. Deep Gnome. You may search your library for a Plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. Do this once each turn. Yes. So it could trigger off your opponent's Deep Gnome if they are putting their second... if they're putting a land onto the battlefield with its ability. So yes, it would work that way. And then the once each turn would prevent it from like being this infinite loop or whatever. Yes. My black enters the battlefield, leaves the battlefield, tribal if this in the set. That could be sweet too. I mean, there are definitely in black. There's like whenever a token leaves the battlefield, I think. I forget the name. There's like a black Nadir's Nightblade. You know, when a token leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So you could go like token style as well. I like it. Honestly, generally speaking, I really like the backgrounds. Like they're just kind of cool. So I like Abdel. I like both of these quite a bit. Wait, what did I do? No. Did I mess something up? No. Let me fix this. Let's do T background. There we go. We'll get that good done. All right. So Abdel is like not exactly breaking new ground or anything. Where is Abdel? There's Abdel. Not breaking new ground or anything, but I like him. He's an A, maybe a B. I don't know. He's neat. He's neat. I like him. He's great. All right, next up. We're going to keep doing the background commanders, just to lump them together. Next up, we got Allura Merry Thief. This is a 3-mana blue legendary creature, halfling rogue. R.I.P. The Kithkin lovers out there. No more Kithkin, only halflings and hobbits. Whenever you attack, up to 1 target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step, and you get to choose a background. So this is also kind of interesting. It merges together kind of a blink and kind of unblockability. It's going to be kind of interesting with, for example, ninjas. You could play like ninjutsu with this if you really wanted to. If you didn't really want Satoru Umezawa or Yuriko, you could go Allura if you want. But the way I see this is going to be cards that have powerful ETB and LTB abilities, but also combat triggers. It's a little bit weird of a niche, but I think it's kind of there. I'm not sure which cards in particular you're going to want to be running with her, but basically anything like you do like Muldrifters or whatever, any good ETB trigger is going to be nice with her. Anything that has a good hit combat trigger is going to be nice with her. It's all right. As for backgrounds, I'm not quite sure. Again, you're probably going to go towards like a blink strategy. So again, you could do like Faraway Traveler if you want to have, go Azorius Blink, a little bit more aggressive style. Combat triggers, Savior of Allenbrock. Etrata likes the halfling, no? Ooh, yes. Etrata. I need to open up a new Scryfall. There we go. Etrata. Ooh, thanks, Silky. Etrata. It can't be blocked, so she's fine with that. But yeah, this is really cool, Neotic. When it deals combat damage, you exile target creature that player controls, and you put a hit counter on that card, and they lose the game if they own 3 or more exile cards with hit counters on them. So the hard thing with Etrata is you have to hit 3 times, essentially. You exile 3 creatures a player controls. You do that 3 times, and then they'll lose the game. However, when this ability resolves, Etrata's owner shuffles Etrata into their library. So, as Neotic's implying here, what you can do with Allura is when you attack, you get this, and you get the beginning of end step trigger. Wait. Whenever deals combat. Oh wait, no, it doesn't work that. Not the way I was thinking. Not the way I was thinking. I was thinking like if this was a combat trigger, like it would return as soon as you dealt combat. That would be a way of circumventing the shuffling effect. But no. Trados still gets shuffled before this would happen, but it's still nice. It's still nice. Savior of Allenbrook. Yeah, that one could be pretty good. Of Allenbrook. So this one says when it trains, exile up to one target creature from a battlefield or creature card from a graveyard. When it leaves the battlefield, you put the exiled cards onto the battlefield under their owner's control. So the way this would work, Savior of Allenbrook has this really powerful training trigger. When it attacks with another creature with greater power, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then when that happens, it exiles up to one other creature or card from the graveyard. So you can use this as a kind of like sneaky recursion. Savior is kind of small, so it's going to be hard for it to get in there for damage. So Allura can give the Savior unblockable, so it can safely trigger its training ability, safely exile a creature from the battlefield or from the graveyard, and then return it back to its owner's hand, so you immediately get that card. So I think this is a really interesting way of doing that. And then obviously, ninjas are going to be good too. Type ninjas. No. Any of these ninjas, all of them have like a very specific thing where they're all getting cool combat triggers. And the neat thing about Allura is most of them are going to be in Dimir, so you can just pair up with a Dimir background, a black background, and you get access to all the Dimir ones. So that's another way of building her as well. I like her. She's neat. She's not mind-blowing or anything. Maybe not mind-blowing might me just be B. I'll put her as a B. I think solid B. Same with Abdel. They're both like not like anything super crazy, anything we haven't really seen that much before, but they're good, and I'm really excited for them in draft. Hey Tomer, will you rank the pre-con commanders on the stream? I think so. I think I have them in this list over here. I think I do. All right, we'll keep going. Amber Gristleomall. I love the name, Amber Gristleomall. This makes me happy. This is a 4 mana. Oh, let me click on her. This is a 4 mana red dwarf cleric, 3/3 with haste. Scryfall's Oracle text is wrong, but that's fine. Whenever Amber attacks, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each player you're attacking. So for no mana at all, you can net up to 3 cards when in a 4-player game. If you're attacking 3 different opponents in a 4-player game, you can discard your hand and net 3 cards. If you have no cards in hand, you discard nothing. You go up 3 cards. It's nice. It's a little bit situational because you need to be in a deck that really is okay discarding your entire hand. It's not this selective discarding. So it's very specific in the style of deck you're going to be wanting to get the value out of this style of commander, but it is interesting. It's not a style of deck that I'm personally that excited about because I like having a full grip of cards at any given time. So the idea of discarding my full grip and going down to 3 is maybe. I don't know. It's not. I'll say it's not for me. There's what's Caravan. There's like Caravan something. Subira Tulzidi Caravaner. This is the one that kind of reminds me of her a little bit. Also haste. Discard your hand until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control of power 2 or less do combat damage to a player, you draw a card. This has a higher roof, or a higher ceiling rather, where you can draw a lot of cards if you have a lot of creatures. But it costs mana to do so, and you have to tap Subira in order to do so. Amber doesn't require any mana, caps you at about like 3 cards, doesn't give you any unblockability options, but gives you option for a background, which is neat. So I don't know. It's not really for me, but like I respect it, you know? I personally am not super hyped for her, but I respect that it's a coolish commander. So I don't know. I'll put her as a B. I like her. I like the design. It's just it's not my personal style of playing. So Maybe you build Madness with her. You could build her Madnessy, but like, if you're building Madness, you're probably going Anya. So, I don't know. This is fine. Teferi's wife. Yeah, Subira? What was her name again? Subira? Yeah, Subira is Teferi's wife in the lore. And mother of I had her as my commander. Nyambi. Mother of Nyambi. Yeah. A little bit of a lore dump there. All right. If you're hellbent and have another player who's open to a 3/3 and no other creatures have died, seems situational. Yeah, it's a lot of setup for Amber. You know what? Amber goes to C. It's a lot of setup. You know what? It's a lot of setup. All right, we'll move on. To the next background commander. Oh, Baelith. Oh, poor Baelith. Baelith. Baeloth? I don't know. What are your thoughts on Mind Flayer Precon as straight up horror tribal EDH deck? I think that's where it's best at. Like, I think that's the goal of the deck. I honestly, I haven't had time to do like full precon deconstruction. There's just been too much going on. I had to get a podcast edited and a bunch of stuff done, and now like all the travel prep. So unfortunately, I haven't really gotten a deep dive on the precons yet. But I don't know. I have like 3 hours at the airport tomorrow during my layover, so maybe I'll have some time to work on it a little bit in the airport. But yeah, I can't give you any definitives on any of the precons. But Andrew could definitely tell you about one of the precons, right, Andrew? Have we gotten into the new Hedron Archive? We're not doing that yet. No, not on this channel. Not on this channel. I refuse. All right. So we're going to be talking about Baeloth Baratil, Entertainer. I think this is in Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know yet. I'm a fake fan. This is a legendary creature, Elf Shaman. It's a 2/5 for 5 mana. Creatures your opponents control with power less than Baeloth Baratil's power are goaded. Whenever a goaded attacking or blocking creature dies, you create a treasure token and it chooses a background. So this commander is just kind of funny to me because Twitter was like having a meltdown about how powerful Baeloth was, and like it's too easy or whatever, too strong, and Goad is too strong, and like honestly, my take here is Baeloth is not very good. Baeloth is not very good. Like, yes, Baeloth, so when by itself in a vacuum, Baeloth will basically, as long as Baeloth's on the battlefield, he has 2 power and he goads creatures power less than it. So power 0 to 1, he will goad your Birds of Paradise. He'll goad your 1/1 tokens. He'll goad your Llanowar Elves, but he won't goad anything else. He'll just goad 0 to 1 creatures for 5 mana. That's not really great. that's pretty subpar, I would say, for 5 mana. Then, yes, if you do pair him up with backgrounds that can raise his power and toughness, like Raised by Giants is probably the best one, then he gets a lot better at more consistently being able to goad multiple creatures. But here's the thing with Baeloth. First of all, goad, it's not a really strong mechanic. I don't know where we all suddenly thought goad was like problematic. Goad's not very strong. Goad is entirely dependent on what your opponents are playing. Your opponents need to be having lots of big creatures. They need to have them on the battlefield for the goad to be effective. And if your opponents are not playing creature heavy decks, if they're playing combo, if they're playing a creature heavy deck that isn't worried about having to attack, like sacrifice decks, for example, or decks that can tap themselves really easily, for example, then your goad does nothing. Your goad does absolutely nothing to the, Enchantress player that isn't really playing any creatures. It's not doing anything to the combo player. It's not doing much to the sacrifice player. And I know this because I've had a goad deck before, and I ran into those issues. So it's highly situational. And secondly, goad just forces them to attack. So, like, what's the alternative here? You either have your creatures get forced attack or what? Like, you're going to eat a board wipe? Wouldn't you rather have your creatures be forced to attack than having them board wiped? I don't know. It seems like such a silly thing to be upset about. And Baloth is bad. I don't know. I don't think he's very good. Here's the problem with Baloth. 5 mana does nothing by himself. 5 mana does nothing by himself. Then if you actually want to goad anything with him, you have to pump him up. So you already spent 5 mana for your commander that does nothing by himself. Literally nothing by himself. Might situationally goad a couple creatures. Then you need to drop down another 6 mana background or something, like Raised by Giants. You know, another 6 mana investment. You've already invested 11 mana into making Baloth an efficient goader. Then the problem is, Baloth's goad is not like until your next turn all creatures are goaded, like most goad abilities. This is just a static ability of as long as Baloth's on the battlefield, they're goaded. So what happens if your opponent just untap, kill Baloth? They could just attack you. So like if you're going for goad, you might as well go for the goad until the next turn type abilities, like Marisi. Marisi's a good goad commander. This goads each creature a player controls. It can do it all by itself, even. And if somebody kills Marisi, well, doesn't really matter because you still get goaded. You still have to get that effect going on. Cardor is another really good goad commander because, again, it's an ETB ability. It's like an Omega goad, actually, because it also affects like stuff that's not on the battlefield already, stuff that gets haste. This one is, again, like, what are you going to do? You're going to kill Cardor? Okay, great. Your stuff is still goaded. Whereas Baloth is just, like, incredibly risky. You invest so much mana and a secondary card to get Baloth's goad ability to be reliable, and then if Baloth dies, the goad doesn't even happen. It's not very good. I'm sorry. I think the best way of doing Baloth is probably going to be going like Voltron style, where you invest everything into Baloth. You give him hexproof, you give him indestructible, you pump his power and toughness, you go for that commander damage kill. But because you've invested so much in Baloth, now it's actually hard for your opponents to remove him from the battlefield, and you're not worried about people swinging back at you as much because you have that constant goad effect. Is he an incredibly powerful Voltron commander? I don't think so. He starts at 2 power. He doesn't have any ways of doing extra damage or anything, but I think that's probably your best bet. I think he's pretty subpar. It was just very funny to me that people got so upset about it. He's not very good. If you play Clonaflex, like Helm of the Host, are the tokens goaded from this effect? Or if you create creatures after declaring attackers. So the way goad works is they attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. So if you are declaring, if you're moved to declare attacks, you have to declare that they are attacking, and they have to be attacking another player. So if you're doing like Helm of the Host and stuff, any ability that says you're in the declare attack mode and you choose attackers, if you can choose attackers, then you have to follow the goad rules. I think if it's like tapped and attacking, I don't think you have to. But in Myriad, for example, is another way of getting around it too. Or if you have any ways of reselecting after declaring attackers and choosing who you attack, like Master Warcraft or something after declaring attackers, that can work as well too. So there are ways of getting around goad, but they're albeit kind of limited. Anywho, so that's my hot take on Baloth. He's not that great. He's not that great. He's interesting, but he's kind of subpar. I wouldn't even put him as a B. I think he's kind of interesting as a Voltron commander, but I think people are overrating him and goad in general quite too high. Quite too high. I'd give him a solid B. I give him a solid B. You know, he's fine. He's fine. Nothing to get too worked up over though. All right, moving on. Burakas. Are you looking at the possible commanders? Yeah, we're looking at possible commanders, and I'm looking at the background commanders first. All right. Burakos, I don't know how to say the name, party leader. This is a 4-mana black legendary creature orc with 2/4. Choose a background. And the nice thing is this is a party leader commander. Burakos is also a cleric, a rogue, a wizard, and a warrior. So for people who don't know how the party mechanic works, the party is made up of 1 cleric, 1 rogue, 1 warrior, and 1 wizard. And there are going to be cards that key off the party mechanic, such as this one. A party can be maximum from 1 to 4 creatures on your battlefield. So you can have a party of 1, which is a cleric, a rogue, a warrior, or a wizard. But if you have a party of 4, you have to have 1 cleric, 1 rogue, 1 warrior, and 1 wizard. You can't have like a party of 4 wizards or like 3 wizards and a rogue or something like that. You have to have like 1 for each role. So when this attacks, defending player loses X life and you create X treasure tokens, where X is a number of creatures in your party. So whenever you attack with Burakos, because Burakos counts as a cleric, a rogue, a warrior, or a wizard at any given time, when a Burakos is attacking, you're going to always be having your opponent lose 1 life and generate 1 treasure token. But you can actually generate up to 4 treasure tokens and have the opponent lose 4 life every single time you're going to be attacking with Burakos, which is a pretty high ceiling. There are additional downsides, however. Most notably, this is a 2/4 with no form of evasion. So if you're in most situations, you're not going to have an easy opportunity to attack with Burakos without dying to chump blockers or dying to blockers, because he's just kind of small. So you're going to need to pair this with forms of evasion for it to really get its maximum value. Now, this is also one of the commanders from the precon deck, the Orzhov Party precon deck. So I think it came with which background? I think it was a white. Well, obviously it was Folk Healer, Folk Hero. Which says whenever you cast a spell that shares a creature type with this creature, you draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Since Burakos counts 5 different creature types: warrior, wizard, rogue, cleric, and orc. It's pretty easy if you're in a party deck to constantly generate value out of Folk Hero. But another way you could take Burakos is you could find a background that will offer some sort of evasion to make attacking a little bit easier. So for example, you can instead of well, you probably don't want to be mono black, but like this would be the type of idea you would be going for. Something like Cultist, which gives flying and death touch and ward, so it's a little bit easier for Burakos to attack safely. But then you're in mono black and you don't have that many options for your party. What else would be good? I guess like Fellwild Visitor. You could do a Zorius party. Wait, no, that doesn't give it evasion. Which ones give it evasion? Surely some of these have to give it evasion. Well, I guess Raised by Giants can at least pump up its power. Oh, here we go. Sword Coast Sailor. You can pair it up with Sword Coast Sailor. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, this creature can't be blocked. So that's a safe one to do that. I guess you're fairly limited on ways of doing it with a background, but again, that's what the 98 cards in your library can help with as well. So I think Burakos is pretty darn strong. I like it more as the commander of the precon deck than the other one that comes with it. And it's cool. Personally, though, I like it a lot in Tribal, because your changelings count as all creature types, and that includes cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. And it's very easy for a tribal deck to have a full party at any given time, just because you're going to be running a lot of changelings. So with a bunch of changelings, your Burakos can suddenly consistently attack and generate 4 treasure tokens. You still have to find ways of granting it evasion or ways to survive combat. But, you know, I'm sure you could figure that part out. So I like it. I think it's nice in the 99 of a party deck, but also nice as a party commander. Also very good at Tribal Tribal. What's Tribal Tribal? Tribal Tribal is just Changeling Tribal. So Changeling Tribal is all these type of creatures. They're every creature type at all times. So they count for as elves. If you have any cards that care about elves. If you have anything that cares about slivers, there's slivers, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a hodgepodge of all of them. All right. So I like this one quite a bit. I like the design. Where are you? Bop, bop, bop. You'd think I had an easier way of organizing these. Oh, there you are. There you are. We will put you in a solid A. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Tribal Travel is almost 300 card tech at this point. Yeah, it's really hard, Sean, to cut it down to 100 for sure. All right. I don't like the fact that you have to attack with him specifically. I agree, Christopher. It makes it a little bit harder to get the value more consistently, but I think that's fair. I mean, it's a 4-mana commander, or it's a 4-mana commander that can counts as a party member, any party member. So there's flexibility just in that text alone. And it lets you choose a background, and it can generate up to 4 mana every single attack. So I think it's a fair balancing point that it needs to attack for it to generate the value. You need to work a little bit to get that value. I think that's a fair balance. All right, let's keep moving. We got a bunch of non-background commanders. Let's go to this one, Durnan of the Yawning Portal. And so Baldur's Gate fans, again, will be happy to see this one. This is the Innkeeper of the Yawning Portal, who is secretly like a level 20 fighter or whatever, and part of the council something. I don't know. I'm a fake fan. Andrew could explain it. Anyway, Right. So this is a 4-mana human warrior 3/3, which is kind of low for a level 20 fighter, but whatever. Whenever Durnan attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may cast it. That spell has Undaunted. Now, Undaunted is a mechanic we haven't seen in a very long time. It was in one of the Commander Precon sets back when we only had 1 set per year, the old days. And it says it costs 1 less to cast for each opponent. So if you have 3 opponents in a 4-player free-for-all game, assuming none of them have been eliminated yet, your spell will cost 3 less to cast, which is pretty significant. So Durnan is a really nice double whammy of card advantage, card selection, and a mana discount. You're getting a 3 mana discount usually on your creatures if they have like a 3 colorless cost and you have 3 opponents. And the card selection, you get to go 4 cards deep. You could whiff, obviously, but you're going to be in a creature heavy deck if you run this. And you get to choose a background. That seems really solid to me. And also it opens the doors for Exiles Matters in a green-based style deck, which is something we don't get to see. We haven't really seen that much. Obviously, like the go-to exile commander is Prosper Tomebound, and that came out last year. And Rakdos has been going really hard on it. Like, this is like exiling cards temporarily and then getting to cast them from exile is like the primary way that red generates card advantage. So it's very much a red-based thing. And Prosper allowed you to access Rakdos as the exile-based style of play. But this opens the door. Something like Durnan opens the door for maybe like a Gruul style exile-based Matters style deck, which is interesting. It opens up a new door, a new design space that we don't really get to see that much. So I would already immediately start leaning towards a red background. Again, I haven't really looked at all these backgrounds yet, but I'm just kind of like glossing over them. Something that either gives Durnan evasion, because again, you need to attack, and it's only a 3/3. So you need some ways of making sure it doesn't die. But here we go. Passionate archaeologist. Durnan came in a precon, and this is the associated background with it. It's a no-brainer. Commander creatures you own have, whenever you cast a spell from exile, this creature deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. So this is a great cheap way of getting even more value out of the spells you're casting from exile. You cast a spell from exile, it costs 5 mana or something. You get to deal 5 mana damage to an opponent. It's a great way to put more pressure on your opponents and reach. You also have other options too, though, like Tavern Brawler is another good one. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. This creature gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is that mana value. You may play it this turn. So this is incremental card advantage, but also another way of making Durnan a little bit scarier to block, not as easy as a chump block, gets more damage through, and then also allows you to trigger more like Exile Matters style cards. Are you going to rank the backgrounds? I'm going to after, I guess. And depending on time pending. So anyway, my overall assessment of Durnan is I like it. I think it's a fairly powerful commander, not super strong, but it opens up a new design space that I enjoy, and I like it. I like having alternatives to just Prosper. So I'm gonna put it as a solid A. Put it in at a solid A. All right. Whew. How far did we get? Not that far. We'll speed it up a little bit, I guess. All right. Next background. Too many commanders. I know some of them are pretty easy to get through, though. Hopefully. Ellen Harbreeze Busybody. So 4 mana, white, legendary creature, human, peasant. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So, token deck. Yay! We figured it out. But the interesting thing here is it doesn't say creature tokens. So, if you're making treasure tokens, if you're making clues, if you're making any type of tokens, then Imoen starts generating a lot of value very easily. Smothering Tithe is all right with her. Like, if your opponent draws a lot of cards in a single turn, and you make a lot of tokens in the same turn with Smothering Tithe, then you can tap Imoen and find the card you need. She's all right. Looks good for Jitty Fae. Yeah. I think the one thing that's working against Ellen is that there's a lot of token leaders, especially in white. You get to choose a background, though, so you get to be a different color. If you're monocolor, you probably want, like, you know, Benny Brax or something as your leader. Instead, it's probably a little bit more consistent if you're mono white. But the main draw here is you get to choose a background. What background you would choose, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe like a Cloakwood Hermit. Selesnya is definitely primary colors for tokens. So if you wove in some sort of, you know, graveyard theme, you can wait until this triggers and you get 2 more tokens, and then you tap Ellen and you get more value. That seems all right. Yeah. For the sake of speeding things up, though, I won't dwell on her too long, and I will give her a solid B. Solid B. There we go. Background from the horror. Oh, yes. Haunted One. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, it and other creatures you control share creature type with it, get +2/+0, and gain Undying until end of turn. I mean, if you're running like some sort of peasant tribal, or she's a what creature type is she? A human? She's a human. So if you're a human tribal or something like that, that could be interesting. All right, let's move on. There we go. Ernest Gloomstalker. Gloomstalker, very strong subclass, ranger subclass in 5th edition. If you're in any Underdark setting and somebody picks Gloomstalker, they're going to do a lot of work. I think also very powerful multi-class if you want to be super cheesy. But let's see the card. The card itself, 3 mana, Halfling Ranger, Death Touch, 3/3. Whenever it attacks, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. Choose a background. This is like we have Get Rug Monster at Home type vibes, you know? She's not doing anything particularly scary. She gets 1 land from your graveyard to the battlefield, but she is a very efficient ramp engine, actually, if you are running fetch lands, right? It is fetch land, Commander G. I don't know. Even if you're what? No, that didn't help, actually. That didn't help at all. Whatever. Like if you're running fetch lands plus Arenas is a really good combination. You crack a fetch, you attack with Arenas, you immediately return the fetch land to hand. That ramps you a land every single time you're attacking. Yeah, it could be a landfall deck. Is it particularly strong? No. Is it doing stuff that we've already seen before? Yes. But I mean, you get to choose a background. That's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What background would it be? Who knows? What background? Who knows? Is there anything that's land based? The carrier, something that gives it evasion, perhaps. Street urchin. Sacrifice another creature. This creature deals 1 damage. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Haunted one is. I'm sensing a theme here of haunted one. I don't know about haunted one on this one, actually. I think street urchin's kind of cool. You get advantage of death touch. Gruul is really good at landfall usually too. Sword Coast Sailor is another way of getting in that value. Go Simic. You know, this is Tatyova at home. All right. Let's give her. Where's she? She's fine. She's a B. There she goes. All right, moving on. Next one. Here we go. Gale Waterdeep Prodigy. This is a 4-mana blue legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to 1 target card of the other type from your graveyard. If a spell cast from your graveyard this way, put it into your graveyard, exile it instead. So Gale basically just wants you to be Spellslinger, and you wants you to have kind of a even split between instants and sorceries. Kind of an even split because when you cast an instant, you get to cast a sorcery from your graveyard. And if you cast a sorcery, then you get to cast an instant from your graveyard. So it's card advantage, it's recursion. You can go Izzet, which is a traditional Spellslinger colors. If you choose a red background, you can go Dimir, and then you'll have access to a lot of self-mill. Yeah, it's fine. It's not reinventing the wheel here. But it's fine. I don't know. Not super exciting. We've seen so many Spellslinger commanders at this point that it's like whatever. I would immediately lean towards like Izzet probably. Which one? Here we go. Nah. None of the red backgrounds stood out to me for Spellslinger. What about the black ones? Tax a player. Nah. Maybe the Cultist of the Absolute just for some protection. Dragon Cultist. Maybe if you're doing burn, you can go Gale Burn. That's kind of fun. Then you make a bunch of dragons. I kind of like that the most so far. Yeah, wow, that's about it. Can finally Divine Gambit at instant speed. Oh, that is nice. Oh, yeah, I actually did not think about that, Silky. Gale is interesting in that you can cast an instant. I think it can get around timing restrictions. If you may cast up to one, or maybe not. I'm not sure if you can get around timing restrictions with this one. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a judge. But maybe you can cast an instant at instant speed and cast a sorcery at the same time, but I don't think so. Open in a separate tab? It is in a separate tab. These are all the backgrounds. Anyway, Gale's kind of like, Gale's alright. Gale's fine. That's a B. That's a B. Alright, moving on. We got Ganax, Astral Hunter. This is a 5-mana legendary creature dragon. Red. 3/3 flyer. Whenever Ganax or another dragon you control enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. So very simple. 5-mana investment is very high. It's a 3/3 flyer, so it's not particularly large or anything for its mana cost. But if you're in a dragon deck, you're gonna make a lot of dragon tokens or treasure tokens. I think this is actually okay. I know I'm a what's it called? Something that repeats himself a lot. I repeat myself a lot on this one, but like this is for Dragon Tribal, right? It's all right in Dragon Tribal, but again, it's really for the changelings. Look, casting dragons are expensive, right? So you're gonna be what? You're gonna be making like one treasure a turn? Phooey, I say. What you really want to do is you really want to play a bunch of changelings that cost like 1 mana, and then you make a treasure out of them and you keep going. If you don't like changelings, I get you. But you could go like Ancient Gold Dragon. When it deals combat damage to a player, you roll a d20. You create a number of 1/1 fairy blue dragon tokens. So the average here is you make 10.5 dragons with the Ancient Gold Dragon. Ganax allows you to make 10.5 treasures. Do something with it, I guess. Broken Record, that's the one. Thank you. So that's kind of fun. I also have before I made Tribal, I actually had a dragon token deck with Dragon. And the idea was to run like all the best token generators, any type of token generators, and then use like Arcane Adaptation and stuff. There's like 3 different effects of this. There's Arcane Adaptation, Maskwood Nexus, Conspiracy, and basically all of them do the same thing where they turn your treasures or turn all your creatures into whatever creature type you want. I choose Dragon, so you cast, I don't know, blah 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 blah, Camaraderie. I don't remember name. Anything that makes a lot of tokens very efficiently, and they're all dragons, and then you get value out of that. So that's another way of going Ganax. You can go like Ganax Arcane Adaptation deck. Play a token deck and turn them all into dragons. That's pretty fun. You get to choose a background for it too. If you're going for that route, you probably want to choose a blue one. Ooh, maybe this one. Commander creatures you own have, whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a 1/1 fairy. That looks like a slam dunk for me. And you make a fairy and you make a treasure. That seems fun. I like it. It's expensive, so it's like whatever. But I mean, it's really good for tribal. And I think it's good in Dragon as well. You just put in the 99. Ganax costs 5, but with Dragon it's only 4, so it's a little bit more easy to do stuff with it. I like it. I don't know. I like tribal. I think this one's fun. I'm gonna put it up in A. This is my list, all right? This is not for the record. If you got this far in, thank you. But also, this is not a power ranking guide. If you think this is a power ranking guide, you're wrong. This is my personal hype list guide. Hence why this is just stuff I really want to play. This is not power ranking. This is not CEDH. This is hype. This is my hype. Not your hype, my hype. I mean, hopefully you're hyped as well. But anyway. Anywho, we'll keep going. Gut, True Soul Zealot. This is 3 mana, red, Goblin Shaman, 2/2, Wayne Reynolds art. I like Wayne Reynolds art. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature or an artifact. If you do, Create a 4/1 black skeleton creature token with menace that's tapped and attacking. Yeah, sorry. So this is kind of interesting. It's sacrifice. Pretty simple. It wants you to act. Well, the nice thing about Gut. We went over a bunch of commanders that require themselves to attack. Gut does not need to attack. All right, Gut is just chilling. Gut's hanging out, and she gets the underlings to do the attacking for her, which is the big brain strategy. This is why it's the goblin shaman, not like the goblin grunt. All right, she's hanging out. She's just making skeletons. All right. So she's a sack outlet. She's an artifact sack outlet. She's a creature sack outlet. It's all good. You make skeletons. Is that particularly strong? No, but it's a 3-mana creature, and you get to choose a background. So what background will we choose for her? I don't know. Probably something with black, I would imagine. Maybe a haunted one. the go-to staple haunted one. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, actually she doesn't really tap. Blah blah. Other creatures you control gain blah. Actually, I don't like that one. Actually, no, I don't want that one. The first time you draw a card each turn, look at the top. No, I don't want that one either. What's a good one? What is a good one? Oh, Cultist of the Absolute. Slam Dunkerino. This one has +3/+3, flying, death touch, ward 3, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Well, if you are sacrificing creatures anyway in your sacrifice deck, this might actually be a benefit, you know? You have another way of sacrificing a creature. Meh. Kind of cool. Agent of the Iron Throne, also kind of good. Creatures you own have whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. I like this one too. I think they're both very good. Whenever this creature attacks a player of no blah blah blah. Nah, I like Agent of the Iron Throne and Cultist, but that's if you're Rakdos. You don't have to be Rakdos, obviously. You can do other things. You could go artifact deck if you really want to. I don't know. Yeah, but I would go Rakdos. I like this one. I like her name, Gut. Gut's just like a good name. I don't know. This is a good card. It's fine. Where are we at? That's a good B. Maybe even an A. I like the name. I'm gonna put it as an A. All right. This is my list. It's my list. I do what I want. All right, we'll move on. Halsin Emerald Archdruid. Hello. This is a 4-mana green legendary creature, Elf Druid, 2/4, 1 mana. Until end of turn, target token you control becomes a green bear creature with base power 2 toughness 4/4 in addition to its other types and colors. So you're turning your tokens into bears, which respectable. I don't know why the bear is a 4/4 instead of a 2/2. That's anti-bear logic. I don't understand that. I guess the card would be pretty bad if it was only making 2/2. So, I don't know. You turn your treasures and your regular tokens, your 1/1s, your plants, your things into bears. I guess he's good. He's a good mana outlet. You know, like you're in green, you're gonna ramp a lot. You know, you're green. You ramp, you make tokens, you turn them to bears, and he's kind of like a finisher. Maybe you go bear tribal. I don't know. Can't turn himself into. I mean, he'll only make other things perfect, but he can't perfect himself. The tragedy of Halsin. What would you pair with him? Not the dragon one. I wouldn't sacrifice it. Is there any that make tokens? That seems like the most obvious. Ooh, Cloakwood Hermit makes tokens. You can make squirrels if stuff dies. Dragon Cultist. At the beginning of your end step, if a source you control ooh, well, they could do 4, or else that would have been perfect. And they're also 4/4 tokens already. Feywild Visitor. You can pair that with Feywild Visitor. You can go Simic Bear tokens. Whenever one or more non-token creature you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a 1/1 fairy creature token. That's kind of nice. Ooh. You can go Gruul. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life, you create 2 treasure tokens. That's 2 more bears. That's more than you can barely withstand. No, sorry. What else is good? Raised by giants, not raised by bears. Can't do that one. Veteran soldier. There you go. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent, blah blah, you make a soldier, and then you turn it into a bear. Works with Ob and Jace tokens, Tameo, except planeswalkers. Yeah, you can turn all those into bears. Yes. Thank you, Silky. All right, it's cute. I like it. It's funny. I'll put it as a B. Yeah, I'll put it as a B. Actually, I'll put gut back down here. No, Gut stays at A. All right, we'll go next one. Imoen. Imoen. This is from Baldur's Gate, number 1. I don't remember how to say her name. Anyway, she's a mystic trickster. Imoen, a mystic trickster. 3 mana blue, 2/3 legendary creature, human rogue wizard. So, kind of important here actually. That she's a rogue and a wizard, so she can fulfill 2 different party slots, which is nice. That's makes it a little bit easier to assemble your party, a little bit of flexibility there. Or 2, so a little bit harder to get rid of her. You know, you have to invest a little bit more. You can't swords for 1. You have to swords for 3. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, you draw a card. Draw another card if you've completed a dungeon. Question to you, chat. If you completed a dungeon and you haven't, and you don't have the initiative, you do not draw a card, right? You have to have the initiative to draw a second card with the dungeon? Or can you draw a card even though you don't have the initiative because you completed a dungeon? Does she have to have yes on both? She's rather boring. Owen says another. Ugh, yeah, this card's kind of weak. So here's the thing. I like dungeons. I like initiative, but it is definitely weak, right? It's kind of weak. I like that this does reward you with card draw. Lets you draw up to 2 cards. I think Imoen is a card that you do not play early, right? You have to wait until you get either initiative or you've completed a dungeon, ideally both, before you start casting her. And that makes sense because, you want to wait a couple turns before you need to start drawing cards. You start with 7, so you might as well, you want to deplete your hand a little bit. So I'm not, too upset that she doesn't do anything by herself, but it is, I don't know. It is a little bit weird. I don't know. I think she's actually kind of decent. I'm kind of working myself into liking her because, first of all, she's 3 mana, and she has Ward 2, and she can draw you 2 cards per turn. You have to jump through some hoops to get that, but I think that's fine. Yeah, it's weird that she doesn't take the initiative because there's not a lot of ways to take the initiative. And I think that's the biggest bummer about Imoen is I think she's gonna be fine in draft. She's gonna be fine in draft. She's gonna be a fine option in draft because draft is actually not singleton, so you can get multiple initiative cards that are the exact same card, multiple copies of the same initiative card, and you can fill out your deck that way, and you'll be fine. But in singleton constructed, if you look at the cards with initiative, initiative. There's only 23. There's only 23 cards that take the initiative. There are 2 in blue. 3 in blue, sorry. 3 in blue. 2 colorless options. Or 3 colorless options. And then what? You're in white or something? That's not enough to make a deck. Yeah. Yeah. That's not great. That's not great. Yeah. She's gonna be fine in draft, but in constructed, unfortunately, she just doesn't have the support she needs. Like you can go mono blue, but then you have like 5 cards that can get the initiative. Dungeon cards work with the initiative, but yeah, dungeon cards work with the initiative, but you can't have the initiative from venturing into a dungeon. Imoen specifically needs you to have the initiative, and only like 5 cards can do that. Yeah, you can. She's going into the 99. She's going into the 99 of decks, into like a venture deck. Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, I feel the set was made, designed, drafted, constructed, which is a mistake, IMO. Well, I mean, I'm hyped about the draft. I don't know about other people, but I'm hyped about the draft, so I'm happy that it works for the draft, because like the pre-constructed cards are where the commander specific cards are going to be at, right? So like I'm fine with some cards just working to make draft work. Like, like we have 98 commanders here. Nobody needs that many. They were needed for draft. So if some of them don't work out in constructed, that's a-okay with me. That's kind of expected, honestly. So she's gonna go as C. She's I'm not gonna build her as a commander. She's gonna go in the 99. Anyway. All right, next what? Jaheira, Friend of the Forest, 3 mana, legendary creature, human, elf, druid. Tokens you control have tap, add green, choose a background, 2/3. I think power level wise, this is probably the highest power level background you're gonna see, because one of the most important things in the commander format is generating mana, or being ahead in mana rather. Like being mana advantage. I don't know the term. Mana advantage. I'll call it mana advantage. And Jaheira turns all your tokens, your treasures suddenly are reusable because you could just keep tapping them for green. Your clues or whatever are now tapping for green. Your 1/1s that you're making are all tapping for green. So this is good stuff. This is good stuff. This is high value. She's not like. She's not reinventing any archetype or anything. She's just making your tokens ramp. And you're going to ramp into finishers like Craterhoof. You're going to ramp into like Finale of Devastation. You're going to ramp into anything you want, really. As for the background, I think it really depends on your flavor. Like, she's so good that the background is kind of secondary to what colors you want. But obviously, if you really want something that matches what she's doing, you're going to choose something that makes tokens. So again, Guild Artisan, kind of awkward because you don't really, she's not really good at attacking, but this can make treasure tokens. The Veteran Soldier can make tokens. What else? Is there any way of making tokens without attacking? Maybe like a Dragon Cultist. Well, that's kind of reaching a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I would pick whatever color you'd want and not worry about the background so much, because any background's good. Any background's fine. Feywild Visitor's good, yeah. Cultist of the Absolute gives her ward. Well, the ward is just life loss, but everything's fine. She's fine. She's great. She's strong. I'm not super stoked about her, but I respect her. I respect that she's good. Folk hero as a background. Oh, that makes sense actually. You draw a lot of cards. You go Selesnya, Druid Ball, Elf Ball, Human Ball. One of those ones. Are there even S tiers? I don't know. We're journeying together. All right, we'll keep going though. Whew. Until I lose my voice. All right. This one has S tier possibility here. Carlac, Fury of Avernus. 5 mana red Tiefling Barbarian. I like Tieflings. I like Barbarians. So I'm already down for this. It's a 5/4. Whenever you attack, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap all attacking creatures. They gain first strike until end of turn. At this After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So this is your 5 mana, take an extra combat, commander. Taking extra combat's notoriously very strong. It allows you to kill people very easily, but more than that, it also doubles your combat triggers, doubles your attack triggers, and all that good stuff. So having an extra combat step in your command zone is very good. This is going to be harder to break because she will only trigger at your first combat. So she's not going to be... She's less breakable than, say, like an Aurelia. You know, Aurelia with a Helm of the Host can just keep doing the extra combats over and over again. Or like Aurelia plus a blink effect, attack over and over again. Carlac is more fair. But yes, Double Strike is very good. Combat's whatever is really good. Myriad's really good. And then you just choose your flavor. Like, if you want to go Boros, if you want to be like Aurelia at home, you can go with something that is white. Veteran Soldier, Noble Heritage. Flaming Fist, that's a good one. Whenever this creature attacks against Double Strike. That one's pretty good. So yeah, she's good. I think she's really solid. I like her. She's aggressive. I like aggressive commanders because Lord knows somebody has to be aggressive at the table or else games last 3 hours. So she's an A, I guess. She's an A, borderline S, you know? I don't know. I throw her in the S tier, but she's close. She's getting there. All right. We move on to Lazo, Vlaakith's Champion. 3 mana white. Legendary creature, Gith Warrior. 3/3. If you would put one or more counters on a creature or planeswalker you control or on yourself, put that many plus one of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. You see I'm getting tired? I'm getting tired. We're just doing the background commanders first. We're doing the background commander first. And then I'm going to do the other ones if I have it in me. if I have it in me. Alright, what do you want to do with her? You can do Super Friends. You can do any white-based Super Friends deck, obviously. You can do +1/+1 counters. I don't really like her. I'll be honest. I don't really like her. Because, like, we have so many versions of this already. Is First Strike and a high power rating equivalent to Death Touch? I think better, because Death Touch will trade with the creature. And First Strike and a high power rating, if you have a higher rating than your opponent's toughness, then you don't trade, you just kill them. So, yeah, I like Gith. I think Gith are really cool. And I like the art. So, I don't know. But she just doesn't do anything that exciting. I don't know. She adds more counters to things. Like, all right, well, are you going to play her over Atraxa? No. Are you going to play her over Karth? No. I like Karth the Lion a lot more. But, I mean, it's Golgari, so maybe if you want different colors. I don't know. I don't really like her. I like the art. I like Gith. Gith are cool, but like, I don't really care. She's not bad. She's not a bad card, but I care a negative amount about building a Lae'zel deck. I don't know, personally. All right, live on. Cultist of Tiamat. 2 and a red, 3 mana. Dragon Shaman, 1/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +X+O until end of turn, where X is that spell's mana value. All right, that's kind of interesting. So high mana value matters is the name of the game here. So if we look up, is non-creature a thing we can look up? non-creature. Oh, wait. Yeah, wait, okay. T, creature, and then look it up like that. And then legal commander. And then what's it called? Mana value. Descending. All right, here we go. Here's the most expensive cards. Sort by MV also works, yes. All right, so these are the type of cards you're going to want to cast with, what's her face again? Levan. Volcanic Salvo. You can cast for a measly 2 mana. If you have 10 power on the total power on the battlefield. Deal 6 damage to up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. Then pump something by 12. That's huge. I don't know. Temporal Trespass. You delve. Delve is really good for 2. You know, you can cast the triple blue Temporal Trespass and pump something by a lot. Is that good? I don't know. It's fine. Apex of Power, also very good. Does it double pump with X plus spells? Double pump with X plus spells. I think so. That would be the mana value, yes. If you cast an X spell, whatever you cast, whatever you end up spending total is the mana value. So if you cast a Fireball for X equals 10, then it's going to be 10 plus whatever the rest of the pips are. She's good in a Vadric deck. I can see that. I like it. I don't know. It's a cool design. What background would it be? I don't know. Maybe I guess it depends what color you wanna run her with, but like Flaming Fist seems pretty good. You could even go like freaking. You can even go like Voltron with Levan, right? You pump herself up, and then you Flaming Fist or whatever. The Sailor one, yeah, that one works too. Can't be blocked. Deal a lot of damage. This is just lame when she said, yeah, these are the cool card. I like the character, but it's just like, ugh. The text, I just don't like. I wish it was better. And it's not even a weak commander. It's just that we have so much of it, so it's just kind of like, bleh. I don't know. Maybe she's a B. She's a B. She's more of a B. I'm not excited about her. I'm just not. All right. Who are we talking about again? Levan. All right. Boom. Levan's an A. I like Levan. I can see myself playing Levan on a Commander Clash. I actually have one S. I actually have one commander that is an S in my mind. I don't know if anybody will guess it, though. But there is one of these remaining that's an S in my mind. You'll probably be shocked. You'll probably be shocked at what it is. Because it's not very obvious, but there's at least one S. There could be more, but there's at least one S. And it's coming up soon, actually. All right, where the heck are we? There's so many. I can't go through all of them. Carlac, Levan. All right. Oh wait, I didn't do the thing. Just minus background. There we go. That's better. Lulu. All right, Lulu, loyal Holly fan. Lulu's an elephant angel. All right, friends. Elephant angel. That already goes up at least like 2 rankings. I don't care about the rest. I don't care about this. I don't even care about what this is, what the mana value is. It's an elephant angel, adorable artwork. It already is at least an A. It's at least a B. It's at least a B in my book for adorable. Probably leaning towards A as long as the card isn't hot garbage. All right. So let's see what it does. It has flying. It's a 3/2 for 4, which it's all right. Flies at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control, then untap them. All right. So what do you want to do here? you're going to be mixing, bouncing, slash blinking, slash, cracking treasures, cracking clues, maybe sacrifice even. It's pretty open-ended how you trigger ability, but you need something to leave the battlefield. It doesn't have to be a creature. It doesn't have to be going to the graveyard. It doesn't have to be exile. It doesn't have to go to your zone, your hand. It can go anywhere. But it just has to leave the battlefield. It just has to go. And then you need a lot of tapped creatures. So how are you going to get them tapped? You're going to get them tapped by activating their abilities, like mana dorks, for example, will tap themselves to activate themselves usually. Or if you're attacking with a bunch of creatures, that will work too. You probably want to go the tap route though. I assume because you get to untap them, and then you can use their tap abilities again. So I'm thinking maybe something mana dork wise, maybe something Selesnya. That's where I'm leaning towards first and foremost, where you're tapping your creatures for mana maybe. It's cute, and then you get to untap them and use them again. And you get +1/+1 counters, which you could build a sub theme off that as well if you really want to. But I'm more interested in the untapping thing. I think that's really cool. But like, you can definitely like add some sort of counter theme. Like Inspiring Call is just really good. What background? It depends on where you want to take it, but I think mana dorks are probably going to be the best with it. So what do I think about it is probably like Cloakwood Hermit is pretty decent because you need creatures leaving the battlefield. So if you have a sack out like a Skullclamp, for example, you kill off a creature, draw 2 cards, you make 2 creatures with Cloakwood Hermit. That's one way of going with it. You can even a Hardy Outlander is pretty decent too. Master Chef is interesting as well. Because you can build in a +1/+1 counter sub theme with Master Chef as well. So I like the green ones the most, but I mean you can go black too. You can go full sacrifice or something like that. I think green though, like vehicles and treasures is good too. So it's pretty open ended. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It's cute art too. It's very neat. It's open ended. It makes me start thinking about possibilities. Is it very strong? No, it's not very strong, but it's cute. It doesn't do anything by itself, right? It does 0 things by itself. It's a 4 mana 3/2 flyer that does absolutely nothing for you unless you do some extra legwork for it. But it's an elephant and it's adorable, right? Yeah. I like Lulu. It is. Where's Lulu? Where'd my elephant go? Where'd my Dumbo go? She is a solid A. Solid A. I like her a lot. Anyway, we'll move on. There's so many. There's so many commanders. All right, there's the next one. A for adorable. All right. Rasad Bashir. I'm so sorry. I can't. Rasad. Rasad, legendary creature, human monk. I can't pronounce for the life of me. It's a 0/3, so low stats there, but it has other text. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Ooh la la. The butt monk. The thick monk. All right, so we're bringing back big butts. This is like Dosun. Not Dosun. Durnan. If people old school commander players, boomers will know Durnan, the siege tower, brought this ability way back when in Treefolk Lorwyn. So this is a pretty old archetype. You don't see that often. I guess Arcades also brought it back, but that was specifically for Defender, only Defender creatures. So we've seen it a little bit, not that much. But Rasad's bringing it back. Old school. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever Rasad attacks, if you have the initiative, double the toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. So again, I talked about this with Imoen. But this is clearly a draft commander, right? Like, you need to have a decent amount of ways of getting the initiative, and you need to be in an environment that people are playing initiative cards for you to steal off them for Rasad's ability to be worthwhile, right? Yeah, butt breathing. Oh no. Is that just, you just call it farting at that point, right? Uh you just fart to increase to double their power. So this one does something without initiative, but what it does without initiative is pretty darn weak. You mean you can assign your combat damage, all right, whatever. But like Durnan gives you 3 colors. This one gives you 2 colors. So I guess it's not the worst, but like this clearly is a draft commander, and it's way worse in constructed because again, you just don't have a lot of options to get the initiative. But the clapping of your cheeks alerted them. Oh boy. Do any backgrounds help with initiative? No. So the closest we have is Dungeon Delver, where creatures you won't have room abilities trigger an additional time, but none of them allow you to get the initiative, which is actually kind of a bummer. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I think one background should have given you the initiative, but alas. So Rasad really suffers in constructed, even though I think he's going to be absolutely fine and fun in draft. This is we're ranking in terms of constructed. Unfortunately, Rasad's going at the C tier. Unfortunately, right beside Imoen. All right. Next up, we got Renari, Merchant of Marvels, a 4-mana Dragon Artificer. You may cast dragon spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. You get to choose a background. It's a 2/4. Okay. We have a lot of dragon commanders at this point. We have a lot of artifact commanders at this point. Would I ever pay 4 mana for the opportunity of giving them flash? No. 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 Yeah. It's just, that does not interest me. Wait, T background. Just play Wrath Compassion. Yeah, it's just, no. I think this is my first D. I care a 0 amount. I care a 0 amount about this card. Maybe in Ur-Dragon, if you really want flash in your Ur-Dragon deck, then it's a 3 mana in Ur-Dragon because of the Eminence. But yeah, no. All right, let's move on. Safana, Kalimport Cutthroat. 3 mana, black, 3/2 menace, legendary creature, human rogue. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, create a treasure token. If you've completed a dungeon, create 3 of the... same problem with the other ones. I think we're just going to skip over this one. Same complaints. It's going to be fine and limited. In constructed, though, it's too few. Let's just put it there. I don't need to read it. Wait, is she even good? You create... Yeah, she's fine. She's fine if you have the initiative. Blah. It's not very good in constructed. What can I say? All right. Oh no, I don't know how to say his name. It's not Savok. No, man. This is a weird one where the R is doing something weird. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. S Deathbringer. I can't pronounce. 4 mana black, 3/4 legendary creature, human knight. He was the bad guy in Baldur's Gate. All right, he was the main bad guy in Baldur's Gate. Savok. I think it's Savok, and the R is just there to be a jerk, just to throw you off, just to see if you're a fake gamer or not, like me. At the beginning of each player's end step, Sarivok. Oh wait, it is part of it. Oh no. Oh no. Delete this, editor, please. Okay. At the beginning of each player's end step, if no permanents left the battlefield this turn, that player loses X life for Sarivok's power, whatever. Gamer credit revoked. No permanents left the battlefield this turn. That player loses X life, will lose its power. Is this card good? I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, so you want to boost Surivok's power, right? You want to boost his power so that if your opponents don't lose something each turn, they will lose a lot of life. I just don't see this triggering that very often. I feel like that's a lot of work for a little payoff, you know? So what works here? I think Inspiring Leader works here. No, that's creature tokens. Obviously, Raised by Giant works here, but I feel like that's kind of boring. I think the more interesting pick would be maybe Clan Crafter. You sacrifice artifacts to put counters on it to grow it. Maybe Agent of the Shadow Thieves to pump it up. I think Cultist of the Absolute is probably pretty easy too. Easy to circumvent. Yeah, Cast Armageddon. Big brain plays. I don't know. I think this is it's an interesting commander, but like I just don't see him. Like I want to see people use him because I want to see how he works out, but I just don't think. I think I don't know. I'm gonna put him in B. He's interesting. I don't think he's powerful, but he's definitely interesting. Like he's definitely more interesting than like Lae'zel, freaking Lae'zel over here. But like. I don't know. I feel like he should have been like three mana instead of 4. Just give me something to work with. I don't know. I like him though. He's cute. All right, Shadowheart, Dust Judicar, Justiciar. Whatever. 4 mana, black, legendary creature, human elf, cleric. Choose a background. 3/4. 2 mana, sacrifice another creature, draw X cards where X is that creature's power. That seems good. Justicar? Nice. Justice Car. It's a Disciple of Bolas, yeah. This card seems good. This is just like, it's a sack outlet, it draws you cards. What's not to like? I like this. This is a good, it's fine. It's aristocrats. What do you want to do with aristocrats? You could go mono black, you know? You can go with Agent of the Throne. You can go Golgari, Cloakwork Hermit, make squirrels, you know? I don't know. Seems good. Seems like a good card. It's fine. Not like super exciting to me, but like powerful. It's good. Let's put it as an A. Well, I'd play it. All right, next. Sivrus Nightmare's Speaker. I like this a lot more because it's a Snake Cleric Warlock, which is just a lot of creature types. I like that. 4 mana. Legendary creature, Snake Cleric Warlock, 3/3. Tap it, sacrifice another creature or artifact. For each opponent, you mill a card, then return that card from your graveyard to your hand unless that player pays 3 life. I like this one a little bit more, actually. Because you can just sacrifice like a treasure token. You can sacrifice a 1/1. It doesn't matter what you sacrifice. And then, I mean, your opponents can say no to your most important. Like if you mill a card that's like super good, like if you need a board wipe and you mill a board wipe, your opponent's gonna pay 3 for that. But like for most random stuff, like is your opponent gonna take 3 if you reveal a land or whatever? Probably not. Like you're drawing like up to 3 cards for no mana cost and no other restriction other than sacrificing a creature or artifact. I like this one. I like this one a lot. And you mill it. So even if you mill an important card and your opponent doesn't give it to you, it's now in your graveyard. So this seems good. Do you return a card you milled or the sacked creature or artifact? It's the card you mill. It's the card you mill. Yeah, this is great. Wait, you mill for each opponent, you mill a card, then return that card. Yeah, you mill a card, then return that card, the milled card. I like this card. I like this card a lot. This card's sick. We put her up top. It's almost draw 3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put her. Nah, no, they're both good, but I like this one a lot. I'll put her like here. This is probably my favorite background one after Lulu, even after Lulu. Seems great. I like it. Seems like legit. All right. Scanos Dragonheart, 5 mana Dragon Ranger, green, 4/4. When it attacks, I guess +X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among dragon cards in your graveyard or other dragons you control. He's a beater. He gets bigger. Dragon Tribal. All right, we'll move on. No, that's not a background. Val, Candlekeep Researcher. 4 mana, blue, human wizard, vigilance, 2/3. Tap, add a number of colorless equal to the toughness, her toughness. This mana can't be spent to cast spells from your hand. Okay. So you can cast your background. You can cast stuff from exile. You can cast stuff from your graveyard with flashback and whatnot. I like this. She also works really well with like stuff like Slagworm armor. You know, you equip her, you give her +6, +0/+6. So increase that booty. And then you can make a lot of mana really easily with her. So I like it. I like it. And then as far as backgrounds, well, you got Tavern Brawler, obviously. This exiles a creature, a card every single turn that you can then cast with Val. Passionate Archaeologist. I mean, it doesn't exile itself, but you're probably going to be an exile-based deck, and then you have access to all the red impulse draw. So those two are pretty darn good as well. Yeah, but any of them work, basically. Yeah, seems good. I like it. Oh yeah. Oh, you can dump that mana into like activated abilities too. Yeah. I think Izzet was probably her best bet because you get access to impulse draw, but yeah. Val seems good. I would play her. Can Val's mana be used for abilities? Yes, just not casting spells from your hand. Val will go here. Val will go here. I like her. She good. She real good. All right, Gut. I'm sorry, Gut. I'm not that interested. I devoted Gut. I kept looking at Gut. I'm like, I don't like her as much. All right, Viconia, Drow Apostate, 3 mana, black, a legendary creature, Elf Cleric, 2/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. This is good. I don't like her as much as Civis, honestly. But it follows exact same archetype, right? Like you can see that these cards were made for drafting, right? Like black is clearly the self-mill sacrifice archetype in Baldur's Gate. And so there's a lot of overlap between some of these uncommon commanders. Yeah, it's not particularly exciting. It's like Marin at home, kind of, you know? Build your own Baron deck. You know, you just pick a green background of any type, and you're good to go. Yeah, it's fine. It's at random. Whatever. It's fine. She's fine. Viconia. She's fine. This is the fine tier. It's fine. I like... I will play. Probably play. Must play now. And then this is like draft only. And then no. The wagons. There you go. All right. Let us switch over to Volo. Itinerant Scholar. So we got another Volo. This one's mono blue, but can be Simic if you want it to be. 3 mana, legendary creature, human wizard, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, create Volo's Journal. Volo is all about, documenting monsters. A legendary colorless artifact with hexproof that says whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that haven't been noted for this artifact. Draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent you control, named Volo's Journal. I think I like the flavor. The flavor is cool. Where you are Volo, you are going around the realm, and you're noting down all these new monsters you come across. And knowledge is power, so you draw more cards as you gain more experience. I like the flavor of it. It's kind of awkward that if your journal gets destroyed, but Volo is just hanging around. He doesn't really do anything, so then you have to just if Volo, imagine this. Volo's on the battlefield, he has his journal, he's ready to go, he's excited, his life mission is to note down monsters, and then he just loses his journal. He just loses his journal. I don't know, he either forgot it in the hotel, and he already took the flight home, or somebody stole it, or he dropped it in a river or something. And then what does he do? His life has no meaning. He sinks into a depression, and he runs into the first creature he can find that can kill him in combat. That's what happens. And then he just hopes that he has a second life. And in that life, he'll be reunited with his journal. It's really dark. It's really dark, actually, when you think about it. So that's messed up. I don't know. This makes me feel things. Yeah. That's a character arc right there. Anyway, Volo is good. I don't know. He's fine. I don't like noting things though. I don't like noting things down. I feel like that's a lot of work. But it's a cool commander. I don't know. It's fine. All right, I'll move on. Wilson! Refined Grizzly. 2 mana, Bear Warrior. And it is a bear because it's a 2/2 for 2. Perfect. As it should be. Legendary creature, Bear Warrior. This spell can't be countered. Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Ward 2. Choose a background. Which one are you choosing? Cultist of the Absolute. +2/+3, Flying, Death Touch, Ward 3. Pay 3 life. Sacrifice a creature. Wilson, it's a high price to pay, but Wilson's willing to pay it. Greatness at any cost. I like him. Short and sweet. You want Voltron? Here's Voltron. No nonsense. Just a bunch of keywords. Just a 2/2. Punches people up. Punches people up. What am I saying? I'm tired, all right? I'm tired. Let's put Wilson on the list. We got to speed this up. We got so many. Oh, God, not in Dwagons. I'll probably play. All right. Here we go. Will, Blade of Frontiers. Legendary creature, human warlock, 2 mana, 1 in a red. If you would roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many dice +1 and ignore the lowest roll. This is the Krark's Thumb for rolling dice. Roll dice tribal. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, you put a +1/+1 counter on Will, Blade of Frontiers. I love this commander. Remember how I alluded that I already had a commander in mind that was S rank? This is it. I've always wanted to build a dice rolling deck. I really like the dice rolling mechanic. It's casual. It's not very strong, but in AFR, we did not have an option for a dice rolling commander. We had Farida, I think. Farida? No, I don't know how to spell names. There we go. Devil's Chosen. And what she does is she essentially lets you draw a card if you roll 10 or higher, which is fine. But she costs 4 mana. 4 mana. If you don't roll a 10, you're kind of out of luck, so it's a 50-50 chance. And the thing that makes dice rolling a mechanic, and it works same thing with coin flipping, The way coin flipping works is you need a way to increase the consistency. Otherwise, you're a 50-50 chance of getting something good or bad. So Farida just didn't cut it. She wasn't good enough. And we also didn't have enough cards. We didn't have enough roll cards in just AFR to make it work in Is It. In comes Will. Will has the thing you need right now. Will has it. It's right there. It's the roll an extra d20. That's what you need. And it's in the command zone, and it's 2 mana, so it's consistent. So he dies, whatever. You get to recast him. It's all gravy, baby. And you get to choose a background. Now, the only bummer about this is none of the backgrounds actually care about rolling dice, which I think is kind of a miss. I don't know. I thought one of them would, but none of them do. But I like this a lot. I like this a lot. There's not a lot of dice rolling mechanics, but it's exciting for me. What's Vrondis? Why are people saying Vrondis? Oh no. We stick with Will. And I probably would go Is It with him just because there's one other. If you would roll a dice, you roll another one instead. It's a pixie. I think it's a pixie guide. Yeah. Grant an advantage. If you would roll one or more dice, you roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. So if Will gets taken out of the equation or whatever, you got Pixie, but you don't have to go blue. You really don't have to go blue. You just could if you want to. But red is definitely primary color for dice rolling. It's good, and then you just choose whatever color you want. You mix and match. I like him a lot. I'm really excited for Will. This is the one of all the commanders. This is the one I'm most excited for. It's the one I'm most excited for. Is it the strongest? No. Dice rolling is a meme, but I like it. There we go. Boom. S tier. You were wondering about it? S tier. Boom. Done. Whew. All right. I don't know. We're going to do like a speed run on the other cards because, my goodness, there's so many. But we'll go strong in the last one. Zealot's Sanity Flare, 3 mana blue, legendary creature horror. Hive Mind. Whenever a player mills one or more creature cards, you create a 1/1 black horror creature token. And you can pay 1 and tap. Target player mills 3 cards. This card's fine. This card is fine. Like, if you have ways of having your opponents mill incrementally, the best card being obviously Mesmeric Orb. Here it is, for those who don't know Mesmeric Orb. Whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller mills a card. The key thing here is it's any permanent. So, like, let's say you put this on the battlefield for 2 mana, and your opponents untap. They untap all their lands and everything. Every single individual land is going to trigger Mesmeric Orb. So if you untap with, like, 10 lands and 5 creatures or whatever, then you're getting 15 individual Mesmeric Orb triggers. That's potentially 15 Zealot's triggers for each person, right? Each person. So you can make a lot of horror creatures with Mesmeric Orb. Obviously, the next best card after Mesmeric Orb is pretty low, but I mean, especially if you're in Dimir colors, you'll have plenty of ways to consistently mill people. Whenever a player mills 1 or more creature cards, yes, it's 1 or more. However, the important thing with Mesmeric Orb is each card mills 1 card, right? So it's not, you're not milling 15 cards in 1 trigger with Mesmeric Orb. You're milling 15 times if you untap 15 cards. So it's 15 individual triggers, and each one has a potential of triggering Zealot's. So if you mill somebody for like half their library, you will only get up to 1 horror creature token because it's 1 trigger. But if you mill a person 1 card at a time, that's each individual card is getting a trigger. So that's the main reason why Mesmeric Orb is so busted here. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird, but once you see it, then it's all gravy. So this card can make a lot of creature tokens. Obviously, though, like, Mesmeric Orb has been busted for a very long time. Like, if you play any self-mill deck, you're going to see Mesmeric Orb. Sidisi broke it long ago as well. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So Sidisi has been doing this Mesmeric Orb thing long time ago. But Zelix can make even more because it's any player, including yourself. Sidisi was just yourself. Hive Mind is any player. So, and yeah, Alter the Brood is also very good too. So yeah, Zelix has a lot of potential of just flooding the table with 1/1 horror tokens. And then it's only 3 mana too, which means it's going to stick around pretty consistently. You can recast it 1 time, 2 times pretty easily. What color do you want to mix it with? Probably black. Horrors are, if you're going for horror tribal, if you care about the creature type, you probably want to be in black because black will, the mirror colors will have the most horrors. So you want one of these. Agent of the Throne is actually really good because they're going to have a lot of 1/1s. So when they all die, each one will have their own Agent of the Throne trigger. That's great. Cultist of the Absolute, you'll have a lot of sack fodder for it. Criminal Past is going to be really good too because you're going to be milling a lot of people, including yourself. So if you mill yourself a lot, Criminal Past can make Zelix a one-shot killer. Haunted One, also really good. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, it and other creatures you control that share the creature type each get +2/+7 gain Undying until end of turn. So this is a huge anthem effect for Zelix, and Zelix can tap himself without actually attacking, which is very cool. So yeah, the card is really good. Scion of Halsin is also quite good too. You're milling yourself with it. So Zelix is very, very strong and pretty sweet. I like him. I like him a lot. He'd be fun, and he is a solid. Probably play. Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. All right. Stream's going on pretty long, and we still have an absurd amount of commanders to go through. So this is a speed run. All right. We're not gonna go too deep into any of these. This is more like Tomer's tired and needs to get ready for GP Command Fest Richmond. So let's start with Alondu. Alondu, first thoughts. Simic, I don't really like Simic. So that's already puts me down in a ranking. I don't really care about Simic. If you love Simic, more power to you. I've had a lot of Simic in my life. I like time counters. Time counters are neat. That's a plus. I like that it's not super busted, but you can make it busted if you add a lot of extra cards to it. Obviously, it wants to tap and untap very often. You know, you want to do stuff that taps and untaps it very often. That's great. It's cool. I like time counters. I like the flavor of it. I could see myself playing it if I liked Simic. So I'd probably play it. All right, next up. This is the speed we must keep, chat. We must keep the speed. Asterion, the Decadent, 6 mana Orzhov. That's a big red flag for me. That's the big yikes. 6 mana from my commander is Vampire Elf Rogue, sweet. Death Touch Lifelink, okay. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1 feed or friends. I like friends. I always choose friends. You gain life equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. Your opponent loses life this turn. So it's like either like a wound reflection when you need it or like a boon reflection when you need it. That's kind of cool. It's 6 mana though. I don't really care. He's either like a B or he's a C for me. I don't. Nah. Where is he? There it is. All right, moving on. Bubble Saga, yay! Night Witch, I like Bubble Saga. I like that she's here. Human Warlock, Golgari, sacrifice up to 3 permanents. If there were 3 or more card types among the sacrifice permanents, each opponent loses 3 cards. You gain 3 life and you draw 3 cards. What? That's good value. That's good value. Draw 3 cards, no mana down, 3 mana. I like it. Baba Lasagna, yes. She's good. I like her. I'd probably play her. Where are you? Where are you, Baba Lasagna? God, finding it in this just this list of things. That is so much. Oh, there's Baba Lasagna. All right, here we go. I will probably play her. There we go. Okay. Bane, Lord of Darkness, Thirst Trap. I respect the Thirst Trap. That already pumps it up one ranking in my book. Bane has never looked sexier. I appreciate you, whoever designed the card. Bane of Lord of Darkness, 4 mana, Esper, or Obscura, or whatever you call, legendary creature god, nice and simple. As long as your life total is less than or equal to your starting life total, Bane, Lord of Darkness has indestructible. Nice. I mean, you have to kind of work for it to get your life total down there, so that's like mid to late, or you have to, you have to take a lot of the black, like, life loss abilities. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, target opponent may have you draw your card. If they don't, you may put a creature card with equal to or lesser toughness from your hand onto the battlefield. So this is a lot about, like, you really want, like, Ancient Craving type effects. You want to draw a lot of cards. You want to draw a lot of cards while lowering your life total so you can get that indestructible going. And then when you have that many cards, maybe you have a sacrifice theme going on as well. Sacrifice, draw cards, Disciple of Bolas effects, all that stuff. You just want to draw a lot of cards and then have your opponents choose to either let you draw more cards or put more creatures onto the battlefield. Honestly, most of the time, your opponents are probably going to be better off choosing to have you draw a card because, shooting in creatures into play is kind of scary. But, like, I guess it depends on your hand size, too. If you have less cards in hand, then it's not as scary. But if you have, like, 15 cards in hand or Reliquary Tower and stuff, and your stuff is dying, you probably want to choose the draw more cards. Interesting. 4 mana. That's a very fair amount. Indestructibility, but you got to work for it a little bit. I like it. It's fine. Good thirst. Boom. Easy done. Moving on. Baal, Lord of Murder. This is the Jund one. Costs 1 more. 5 mana. Legendary creature god. 4/4 as long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total. So all the gods have this same thing. You have to have 20 or less life in Commander for them to be indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, so another non-token creature dies, trigger, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and goad it. Easy, repeatable goad. Aristocrats goad in Jund. I like it. I respect it. It's good. I'll probably play it at some point. Yeah, there it is. All right, moving on. All right. Kadira, Caller of the Small, Orc Ranger. Orc Rangers are cool. Trample, when it deals combat damage to a player, for each token you control, create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. I like rabbits. I don't remember any other rabbit token generators, so that already gets a bump up. This is kind of like Chitterfang for Selesnya. Maybe. You need to give her some sort of evasion. Well, you can need to pump her up because she has trample, but it's not very good evasion because she's just a 3/3. You need to give her flying or something or pump up her stats a little bit. But she just like doubles all your tokens. And she counts non-creature tokens as well. So treasures, clues and all that good stuff. She's good. I'd play her. I like her. Rabbits. Rabbits are sweet. All right, moving on. Captain Negatharod. Engatharod. 3 blue, black, Demir, 5 mana. Horror Pirate. I like that. Horror Pirate. That's fun. Horrors you control have Menace. Whenever a horror you control deals combat damage to a player, that player mills that many cards. At the beginning of your end step, choose target artifact or creature card in an opponent's graveyard that was put there from their library this turn. Put it onto the battlefield under your control. Steal Ngatharod. I don't know. They're all made up names. I don't care. Thanks, Howard, for trying. So a little bit of theft, a little bit of mill, a little bit of horror tribal. It's a space pirate. It's great. I like it. It's a cool mechanic. I will probably play. All right. No. Commander Liara. Boros, 5 mana. Boros, legendary creature, human soldier, 5/3. When you attack, spells you cast from exile this turn cost X less to cast, where X is the number of players being attacked, so up to 3 if it's a 4-player game. Exile up to the X cards of your library until exile matters. Is this a better Balborka? I would say yes. I would say this is a better Balborka. It gives you more exile cards, more card advantage, and it gives you ramp on them as well. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. It's gas. Yeah, it's good. I like this. I like this more than most of these other ones. Actually, more than the A ones. I like this more. It would be near the top. Near the top. Right after Lulu. Right after Lulu, I would say. Yeah. All right. Keep it going. Keep it going. Duke Older Raven Guard. 6 mana Boros. 6 mana is a lot. 6 mana is a ton. Let's see how this pans out. Legendary creature, human noble soldier, 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and myriad until end of turn. Myriad's great. Doubles it can triple your damage output with that creature. Haste is great too. It also triggers a lot of like enter the battlefield effects, leave the battlefield effects. If you're copying a legendary creature that has death triggers, then you can get 2 death triggers off that as well. Really strong, really good. 6 mana though. 6 mana is a lot. Like I would put him in the 99. I would not put him in the commander, but I put him in the 99. He's a solid 99er, you know? He's a good team player, but I wouldn't put him captain of the guard, you know? He wouldn't be captain of my guard. He would be definitely a strong first something. I don't know. He's fine. He's fine. He's more than fine. He's very good in the 99, but he's in the it's fine category. All right, moving on. No, we did that already. Dynair, Invoker Adept. Jeskai, Human Wizard, Haste. You may activate abilities of other creatures you control as though those creatures have haste. So she's like a 1,000-year elixir. I like it. Day 0 errata. That's fun. When you next activate an ability that isn't a mana ability this turn by spending 4 or more mana to cast it, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's really cool. I don't know what we do with her. I'm sure somebody's come up with something to do with her, but she seems cool. Yeah, Day 0 errata. Oh, that's all I remember about this card. It was Day 0 errata. I'm sure chat, what's a cool card of her? I don't know. She seems neat. I would probably play her. I'll put her in the probably play pile. This is just probably play pile. There it is. There's so many here. All right. Cascading Cataracts. No, that doesn't work with her, no? Or it does? It doesn't work on mana abilities. Cascading Cataracts is a no. That's actually why it had the errata, actually. I believe. That isn't a mana ability. Because, see, the errata says isn't a mana ability. This one does not mention it. Font of Fortunes. Chromatic Orrery. Whatever. We'll move on. Eleminster. The big kahuna himself. 5 mana. Azorius. Legendary Planeswalker. Eleminster. Loyalty 5. Whenever you scry the next instant sorcery you cast, you draw a card and you scry. You exile the top card of your library. Spellslinger Scry. Spellslinger Scry. I like it. It's good. A+ job from Eleminster. Oh my god, there's so much. Wait, actually, most of these are backgrounds. Thank God. Thank God most of these are backgrounds, because I am tired. Boom. All right, next up. Speed. Faldorn, Dread Wolf Herald, 3 mana, Gruul, legendary creature, human druid. Whenever you cast a spell from exile or lands enters the battlefield under your control from exile, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. All right, cool. So this is another Exile Matters in Gruul, which is nice. Some differentiation from Prosper. And unlike Prosper, she's not broken, which is cool. Wow, you even have to discard a card to get a card. Wow, Prosper players, take note. Balance. She's fine. I like her. I like Exile Matters. I just don't like it when it's too easy. So, I like her. There might even be ways of like sacrificing the card to exile. Like, what's it called? There's a goblin. There's like a T goblin, and then O sacrifice, O exile. There we go. Dark Dweller Oracle. Here it is. Here it is. Dark Dweller Oracle. 1. Sacrifice a creature, exile top card. So you can like, you can kind of pop off with Faldorn and Dark Dweller. You can sacrifice the wolf you make, and then find another card, cast that, keep going. Don't eat your wolves, but they're tasty. Prosper, screw your balance. We have money. Yeah, I mean, Prosper is just Tatyova. Prosper is just Tatyova for Rakdos players that still want to play Simic. It's true. It's true. Prosper was a design mistake, but I mean, there's a lot of design mistakes. I'm just like tired of Prosper personally. But I mean, if you like Prosper, no shade. Even though it sounds very shady, I'm sorry. You're fine. You're the worst, but you're fine. It's fine. All right, let's keep going. Where are we? I'm lost. I'm tired. Furkrog? Furkrog. Cunning Instigator. 5 mana is a dragon. I love Izzet. I love dragons. So you've already won me over with this one. Legendary creature dragon. Flying haste 3/3. Whenever one or more dragons you control attack an opponent, go target creature that player controls. So it's like a Marisi, but only for Dragon Tribal, which is cool. A little bit more fair, I guess. But I guess it also triggers off itself and it has flying and haste, which is nice. Marisi doesn't have that. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, if that creature had to attack this combat, you put a +1/+1 counter on Furkrog and you draw a card. I like this. I like Izzet. I like dragons. This might even be another S. I'm very easy. All right. You have to make a really bad legendary Izzet dragon for me not to like it. For me not to love it. It's good. It's fine. I like it. I like drawing cards. I like Goad. I like dragons. I like Izzet. Is he a good card? I don't know. He's fine. He's all right. He's all right, but I like Izzet dragons. All right, I don't care about this text. It's meaningless. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this Chad. Beautiful. Beautiful. My beautiful boy. Come to me. All right. Next. Glunch. Glunch is a jellyfish. It's a flump. The flumps are back. Wonderful. Glunch the Bestower. 3 mana, legendary flump or jellyfish or whatever. Flying. At the beginning of your end step, choose a player. They put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. Choose a second player, draw a card, then choose a third player to create 2 treasure tokens. This is fine. I don't really like Group Hug, but this is like more political because you get to choose what people get and stuff, and you can choose yourself, so you can draw a card each turn or whatever. It's good. I like it. I'll possibly play it. Moving on. Woo! Gorion, wise mentor, very wise until he got stabbed to death. I don't know. Baldur's Gate spoiler for 20-year-old game. Bant, legendary creature, human wizard, vigilance. Whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it. Ooh. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yes. Yes. You know, okay, so fun fact about Chulane. Chulane was supposed to be the adventure commander. Did anybody know that? That Chulane was supposed to be the adventure commander? You see what you did here, you see, is you would cast adventure, then you would cast the creature side of the adventure, draw a card, and then that's why it returns it back to your hand, because when you return a T adventure, can you do that? Because most of them were creatures, you see. The new ones are not always, but like Bone Crusher Giant or Beanstalk Giant or whatever. You cast the adventure side, then you cast it as a creature, and then Chulane would return it back to your hand, and that was a cool thing. But then Wizard of the Coast was like, you know what? We want Brawl to be what the youths like, and we're gonna make them all busted. So instead of being an adventure commander, they're just gonna be open-ended and make it broken, and that's how Chulane came out, and nobody liked it. Well, I guess some people liked it. I didn't like it. Gorion though is actually adventure tribal, so this is what Gorion, this is what Chulane should have been. This is literally what Chulane should have been. So I guess you're welcome for Chulane players. You're welcome that they didn't do that. But now for people who actually wanted adventure tribal, Gorion. Hey, I like that. You know what? Gorion gets an S. Gorion gets an S for a good job. It only took you 4 years to actually make the adventure commander, but you got there. Second time's a charm. All right. Because it's lucky. Yeah. It's fine. All right. Moving on. Jan Jensen, Chaos Crafter, and Mardu, Gnome Artificer. He is the Gen, except instead of enchantments, he's doing artifacts, which is cool. Sacrifice an artifact creature, create 2 treasure tokens. Sacrifice a non-artifact creature, create 2. Oh, he's not Gen, actually. I lied. Sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2 1/1. Contact stuff. I assume there are like combos of this with untapping him and stuff, but like even without that, he seems good. He's neat. Yeah, he's neat. I like him. I'd play him. I'd play him. All right. John Arenagus, you give stuff to your opponents. You gift your creatures to opponents. They're perma-goaded. They get +1/+1. They can't be sacrificed. No easy way out of that one. And then when they attack, you draw cards. Clean design. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. We're getting a lot of goad at this point. They're all kind of meh, honestly, power-wise, but meh. I'll play him. I'll play him at some point. He's fine. Keiga. Shadow Archdruid. Golgari Elf Druid. They're back. 1/4. Whenever it attacks, gains Death Touch until on a turn. Mill 2 cards. Okay. It's a 1/4. Kind of dicey there. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land or cast a permanent spell from among the cards in your graveyard. So it's card advantage, but it's a 1/4, so it's kind of weird. You really want... She's kind of like what's it called? Ghost of Ramirez? Ghost of Ramirez. This one is you can choose one card that was discarded. It's a little bit Ghost was always clunky though. Ghost was pretty darn clunky. Keiga's a lot better, I think, but like I don't know. It's just fine. Probably wouldn't play her. That's fine. Alright, moving on. Corlessa, Scale Singer. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast dragon spells from the top of your library. Would I ever play her as a commander? No. But she's fine. Dragons. All right, moving on. Lozen, Dragon's Legacy. So many dragons. 3 mana is a dragon. Oh. All right. Here we go. Dragon Shaman. All right. Flying, whenever you cast an adventure spell or dragon spell, it deals damage equal to the spell's mana value to any target that isn't a commander. Why is it not a commander, though? What's this part? What's this all about? What's this all about? I don't like that. I don't like that part. I don't like the part. It's lame. She's good, though. I like her. She's a dragon. You can't... What? Chad, no. She's good. She's up there on the top of it's fine. She's a dragon. It's great. All right. Mahadi, Emporium Master. Khajiit has wares if you have a coin. Rakdos, 1 black, red, cat, devil. It is a Rakshasha. I forget how to say the name. 3/3, Wandering Emporium. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each creature that died this turn. What? That counts your creatures and your opponent's creatures. This is good. This card's very solid. It makes a lot of treasure. And then you like pair it with like Mayhem Devil. You know, Mayhem Devil. You use that treasure. You ping other creatures. They die. They make more treasures. Khajiit goes off. Khajiit pops off. Easy. Very good cat. Where are you, Khajiit? All right. Na. At the top of the I'd play. That looks fun. Mazzy, True Sword Paladin. Naya, Halfling Knight. I like Halfling Knights. Cute. 3/4. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0 and gains trample until the turn. Whenever an aura you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, exile you until your next turn. You may cast that card. There's like an enchantment. There's like an aura. T aura. O sacrifice. Blah 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 blah. What's the one? No. O draw. That's what I'm looking for. Unbridled Growth. Very good with Unbridled Growth. For 1 green, you mana fix a little bit, but then you can sacrifice it and draw a card. And then with what's her face? The other one, the thing we were looking at, Mazzy. You can keep just drawing cards for green over and over again. There's a lot of like self-sacrificing auras as well that are good. It also works with the vows. The designer of the card said that she was made for the vow cycle. So you have cards like blah blah, or sorry, impetus, vow and impetus cycle, and the impetus are actually better for this. Like martial impetus and stuff. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded, so they have to attack and they can't attack you. So that's like the idea of it. You load up on impetus, you load up on stuff that sacrifices themselves or is a sacrifice themselves, so you can recast them for value. She's good. I like her. She's good. How many more? Zoink Scoob. There's like a lot of these. Mirim's good. It's Panharmonicon, kind of. Well, no, it's Clone Harmonicon for dragons. It's a teamer. And it's a 6/6. I'm putting this in my tribal. So, make that what you will. Also very good in Dragon Tribal. Boom! I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Minsk and Boo. It has a lot of stuff. It deals with hamsters. I like it. I'm really blitzing through these now. Just like skimming it. Legendary Orzhov, Elf Cleric, deals with experience counters. That's exciting. I like that. Experience counters are cool. Leaving the battlefield. Puffs creatures. It's good. Alright. Miracle. This is another one. It's non-token creatures die. It does something, and it's a god, and it becomes indestructible if you have 20 or less life. Whenever a non-token creature... Oh, this is the coolest one, though. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's enchantment or loses all other creature types. So you get double the enter the battlefield triggers, double the sacrifice triggers, double the LTB triggers. Really good enchantress, devoted druid combo, blah, 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 blah. Make infinite mana. Make the other persist ones are also like make infinite discard and stuff. Whoo! It's good. It's a good card. Whatever will get people to stop playing Sithis, I am a strong advocate for. All right. Nalia, she's like the other party leader, but not as good. She can sometimes draw you a little bit of cards, and she can pump up your party a little bit. But she's just not as good as the other one, I don't think. Although the nice thing about her, actually, she's probably not as bad as the other one. She's probably equal. She's actually closer because she doesn't have to attack. She generates card advantage. Sometimes, if you have a party member on top of your library, she can generate card advantage there. And at the beginning of your turn, she pumps up your entire team, not just your party. And she doesn't need to attack for it. I actually think she's much closer to the partner one than people give credit for. A lot of people discount her, but the fact that she doesn't need to attack is kind of huge. But yeah, she's inconsistent card advantage. Her party payoff is it's fine, but she's not that bad actually. She's only 3 mana, and she doesn't need to attack, which is good. So she's fine. I honestly think she's not that bad. She's kind of close to Baraka's, but the fact that Baraka's has a background kind of puts her over, put that one over the edge. But she's fine. I put her in the 99 at the very least. She's in the fine tier. All right. Nira Wild Mage. 6 mana. Is it legendary creature? Human elf shaman. 2/7. That's a big booty. 2/7. Yeesh. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put it on the bottom of its owner's library. If you do reveal cards, for the top of your library to reveal a non-land card, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost, then put all the reveal cards. So this is like chaos warping all your own creatures, and that you also are casting from exile. So a lot of the exile matter stuff works well for 6 mana though. 6 mana, not cheap. I like it. I definitely like it, but Not as the commander. Not as the commander. 6 mana is just too much. Nine Fingers Keen. This is your Gates commander. Sultai. A lot of I know some people's Jimmy's got rustled by her because she's not 5 color, and a lot of people like 5 color Gates, and she is not. She's Sultai, but she's actually a very good Sultai commander. So if you can get around the fact that she's not 5 color, then she does a good job. You do lose out on some red cards, you know, and some white cards. Yeah, she's good though. I think she's still good. Card advantage, card selection, finds your gates, finds other stuff. I'd play her. All right. Oji, the Exquisite Blade. This is like Brago at home. You cast spells, you blink stuff, but it's very, very toned down. Very toned down. Because blinking is very strong, and toning down is fine. And this card is fine. All right, moving on. Raga Draga. I love this. Raga Draga just turns your mana dorks into finishers. I like it and I don't like it because, like, being rewarded, like turning your ramp into your finishers is too easy. Like, that's why Landfall is just too easy of an archetype. Like, it's like, wow, you're being rewarded for playing lands, something you were doing anyway. Good job. It's like, yeah, okay. You really didn't need that. This one, at least you have to play mana dorks, so they're more susceptible, more vulnerable to removal and stuff. That's good. I think it's really cool. It's a cool commander. I still rank it very highly, even though I think like it's a little bit too easy to make mana, like making mana dorks finishers is just a little bit too easy. But it's a really cool concept, so I put it in the high of a high version of I'd play it. It's cool. I like it. But it's easier than you'd think to make this card bananas. Raphael, Fiendish Savior, 5 mana. Is it Devil Noble? It's a Lord for Devils, Imps, Tieflings, and such. It's good. I like it. It's good. I like it. There. Real Surreal. Ooh, this takes initiative. Whoa. When you attack, if you complete a dungeon, it takes initiative. Oh, a breath of fresh air. The only one that takes initiative. I appreciate you. I'd put it down there just because of that. Tasha, there's so much text here. I don't want to read this. It's too much. It's too much. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, create a demon creature. Okay, so exile matters. Draw a card. You exile a card. You can cast that card you exile, and then you make a demon. It's good. I like it. It's theft. It's exile matters. It's a planeswalker. It's Tasha. I'd play her. I'd play her. There it is. Council of 4. Whenever they draw their second card during their turn, you draw a card. Wow, this card is boring. Meh. All right, next. Thrakus, your dragons get double the power. That's fun. There. And these are all backgrounds. Ah! The last one. The last one, thank God. Zevlor, El Turel Exile. Okay, whatever. Grixis, 4 mana, Tiefling Warrior, haste, and it essentially gives your instants of sorceries myriad. You take a single spell that's targeting a single permanent, and you're like, hey, what if it also targeted my opponents as well? Bam, 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 bam. Oh yeah, a day 0 errata. There's like 3 of these so far. Oh my God. All right, cool. Very cool. So you could do Myriad Cruel Ultimatum. Myriad Worst Fears. Very cool. Your opponents will hate you, but you will win with style. Yeah, card's good. Card is good. I would play it. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. There we go. Chat. We did it. Oh my God. Like and subscribe. That's so many. That's so many. It's too much. It's too much. But we went through every single one. As always, this ranking guide is absolutely a power ranking guide. So these are objectively the most powerful cards, and then these are objectively the worst powerful cards. It's also an objective rating scale. So if you don't agree with these rankings, then you're wrong. It's just how it is. Dingle that dingle. Yes. No, it's just a hype list. This is what I'm most excited for. This is what I would play after that. This is what, like, this is like literally the chart of if I got to play any of these commanders, if they were shown to me at a table and they're like, all right, you need to prioritize which one you would play first and then which ones you would play after, it would be 100% will first and foremost. And probably not these other ones. I'll just go down here. No, that's fine. There's a lot of these. Will is number one. Will is number one. I will play this number one slam dunk thing. I just really like dice rolling. I want to do it one time, and this is the first time we actually have a chance to make the archetype work functionally. And then all of these ones I would play next. And then these ones I'd probably never get around to. Let's be real. I probably wouldn't get to the it's fine category. And I'd be okay with it. Although I would say out of all of these, Sarevok is probably the most interested I'm in all of these. And then these I won't play in Commander, constructed at least. Draft I will. And then these I just don't care about. Like, this is like fine card advantage in Ur-Dragon or whatever, but not as a Commander. Meh. Whew! Yes. All done. Easy life, easy game. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this stream. Sorry if I had to speed through some of it. I have to go and do a lot of packing and do a lot of prepping and getting ready for my flight. If I see you in Richmond, if you're going to Command Fest Richmond over this weekend, come say hello. I'm shy and I'm nervous, but I'm always down to say hello to people and play games with people. So yeah, you can see me in all my awkward glory in person. All right, everybody. See ya. Bye. Like and subscribe.